Alright, so for the past 8 straight weeks, this little clamshell has been my constant companion. Seriously, it's been everywhere with me. Train commutes, lazy couch sessions, and yes, even when we traveled to Italy. And here's the scoop. It's about 95% of the way to perfection. But that remaining 5%, that one single flaw keeps punching me right in the nostalgia. Stick around, because that flaw might just be the deal breaker for you too. The RG34xxsp is a dead ringer for Nintendo's iconic folded biscuit, only it feels a bit smaller and significantly denser. Weighing in at mere 178 grams, it practically disappears into jacket pocket, making it ultimate stealth gaming device. The alloy hinge? Oh, it snaps shut with a magnetic precision, so satisfying you'll find yourself closing it just to hear that delightful. And after 2 months of relentlessly opening and closing, I can confidently say that this hinge is still rock solid. No wiggle, no creak, no annoying accidental wake-ups while it's rattling around in my backpack. It's built like a tank, but a really sleek, pocket-friendly tank. It's built like a tank, but a really sleek, pocket-friendly, no. It's built like a tank. It's, okay na kanina. The matte shell with indigo color, it's another win. It shrugs off fingerprints like a pro, keeping the device looking pristine even after hours of play. And those face buttons, they're noticeably quiet, which is a small but welcome detail when you're trying not to annoy your significant other on the couch. Sure, the forehead bezel above the screen is chunkier than what you'd find on most modern candy bar handhelds, but it serves a purpose. It protects the screen when closed, and more importantly, it gives my thumb a comfortable place to rest during those marathon gaming sessions. It's a design choice that prioritizes function and nostalgia. In short, the moment you pick it up, the hardware just screams premium. It feels like a device that was thoughtfully engineered, not just thrown together. This isn't just a clone, it's an homage that arguably surpasses the original in terms of sheer tactile quality. Once you've experienced the 3.4-inch IPS panel on the RG34xxsp, the original SP's front light system suddenly looks like a candle flickering in the very dark cave. Seriously, there's no going back. This screen with its crisp 720 by 480 resolution and 3:2 aspect ratio is a revelation for GBA games. They scale pixel perfectly, meaning every sprite, every background looks exactly as it was intended, without any blurry upscaling artifacts. The colors pop with an almost unbelievable vibrancy, and the viewing angles are absurdly wide. I've taken this thing outdoors at max brightness, and I could still clearly see every single pixel in Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Indoors, I actually had to dial the brightness down at about 60% because let's be real, retina burn is a genuine concern with this level of luminosity. Now for the trade-off. That glorious 3:2 aspect ratio, while perfect for GBA, means anything that isn't 3:2, think SNES, PlayStation 1, or Sega 32X, is going to have some black bars on the sides. You can choose to stretch the image, but then you're dealing with scaling artifacts that just don't look right. Or you can crop, but that often means losing crucial HUD elements. It's not an absolute deal breaker for every game, but you'll definitely notice that unused real estate during long RPG sessions where the screen could arguably should be bigger. It's a constant reminder that while the GBA experience is unparalleled here, other systems get a slightly less optimal treatment. Let's talk real-world numbers, because nobody wants to run out of juice mid-boss fight. I constantly get about 4 hours of bright screen GBA action, which stretches to around 5.5 if I dim the display to a more reasonable 40%. If I'm really pushing it with PS1 emulation and Wi-Fi chugging along, I'm looking at roughly 3 hours. For me, that's a full week of train commutes before I even have to think about hunting down a USB-C. The 3300 mAh polymer lithium cell is no slouch, and it pulls 5 volts, 1.5 amps, meaning a standard phone charger can top it up in a brisk 90 minutes. What's truly impressive is the thermal performance. I never once felt the unit get more than lukewarm. The all-winner H700 chipset clearly manages its power efficiently. This low heat output not only contributes to comfort during long play sessions, but also bodes well for the device's long-term durability. It's a handheld that you can truly rely on to keep it cool, no matter how intense your retro gaming habits get. The face buttons on this device are membrane style, low profile responsive, and wonderfully silent. They have a satisfying, almost cushioned feel that's a welcome change from overly clicky alternatives. The D-pad, while rocking ever so slightly, never once misregistered a diagonal for me. I was pulling off perfect Hadouken motions in Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is a testament to its precision. The shoulder buttons, though tiny, are crisp and tactile, offering just enough resistance. Now for the analog elephant in the room. Those twin analog knobs, they are without a doubt the most ergonomically odd part of the design. Yes, they work perfectly fine for PlayStation twin stick titles, offering a surprising amount of control. Yet, they're so incredibly close to the edge of the device that my thumbs often collide during frantic session of God of War Chains of Olympus. For GBA games, they are utterly pointless, but thankfully, you can easily disable them in the firmware. For those with larger hands, the compact size, roughly 8.3 by 8.2 by 2.5 centimeters, might lead to some minor discomfort during extended play. But for most, it strikes a good balance between portability and usability. It's a compromise, but one that feels largely well executed given the form factor. Let's keep this section refreshingly simple and direct. When it comes to 16-bit systems and older, think NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PC Engine, and the original Game Boy or Game Boy Color, this device absolutely flies. Everything runs at a locked 60 frames per second with zero crackle and zero stutter. It's effectively native performance. GBA emulation is as you'd expect, its primary strength, and it's flawless. PlayStation 1 emulation is about 95% there. Iconic titles like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Ridge Racer Type 4, and Final Fantasy IX ran flawlessly, delivering that PS1 experience without a hitch. The only minor hiccup I encountered was with Valkyrie Profile, which occasionally stuttered during particularly complex spell effects. Now, for the more demanding systems like PSP, N64, and Dreamcast, it's a mixed bag. Mario 64 is playable, but you'll notice some texture flickering that breaks the immersion a bit. PSP's Lumines hovers around 45 frames per second, which is playable but not ideal. If you're looking for a device to handle high-end 3D emulation consistently, you'll need to look elsewhere. But for everything up to and including PlayStation 1, the all-winner H700 quad-core ARM Cortex A53 CPU at 1.3 GHz paired with a dual-core Mali G31 MP2 GPU and 2 GB of LPDDR4 RAM is an absolute sweet spot. It delivers excellent performance where it matters most for retro handheld of this caliber. Out of the box, the RG34xxsp boots into a clean, intuitive 64-bit Linux launcher. It's a surprisingly polished for a stock firmware. Box art downloads automatically, making your game library look fantastic. Save states are just one shoulder button combo away, which is incredibly convenient for a modern gaming habits. And if you're a purist, dropping in your own BIOS files is breeze. You don't have to tear the OS apart just to get things working. The stock firmware even addressed an early D-pad ghost input bug I noticed in week 1, showing Anbernic is paying attention. I will be trying custom firmware soon, and if you're finding any of this information useful or learning something new, do me a quick favor and smash that subscribe button. Your support helps keep these honest reviews coming. Alright, here it is, the breaking point I've been teasing. The tiny thorn in an otherwise perfect rose, that 3:2 aspect ratio. While it's absolutely glorious for GBA, it means that nothing else truly fills the panel edge to edge. Every single 4:3 system, which let's be honest is basically everything before the 6th console generation, runs smaller, surrounded by those persistent mood-killing black bars. You've got options, sure. You can stretch the image to fill the screen, but then you're dealing with unsightly scaling artifacts that distort the classic pixel art. Or you can crop, which often means losing crucial HUD elements or parts of the game world. After weeks of happily bouncing between SNES, RPGs, and GBA platformers, my eyes legitimately started begging for a simple toggle. I just wanted an option for forced 4:3 content to use the full height of the screen. Bars be damned on the sides. The hardware could absolutely handle it. The stock firmware, however, just won't give us that choice. If your gaming world consists exclusively of the GBA library, then congratulations, this screen is an absolute dream, genuinely perfect. But if like me, you regularly dip into the epic narratives of Chrono Trigger or the gothic hallways of Castlevania Symphony of the Night on a weekly basis, those black bars become an inescapable, frustrating presence. It feels like trying to watch a blockbuster movie on an airplane headrest screen. You know there's more to see, but it's just not there. It's not the lag. It's not poor build quality. It's purely software choice that Anbernic, for whatever reason, hasn't addressed. Until they do, or more likely until a clever custom firmware patch appears, this handheld, despite all its brilliance, simply cannot claim perfection. It's a glaring omission that holds it back from true greatness. So despite that one significant caveat, who is this little marvel actually for? First up, casual commuters who just want a pocket-sized, robust GBA machine for their daily travels. This thing is an absolute no-brainer. Its portability, sturdy hinge, and excellent GBA performance makes it the perfect companion for quick gaming fixes on the go. Next, parents looking for a durable device to hand to their kids for long car rides. The RG34xxsp is a fantastic choice. That robust alloy hinge and solid plastic shell are far more likely to survive accidental drops and rough handling than the original GBA SP. It's a device that can take a beating and keep on playing. And for the collectors out there who already own an analog pocket but crave that genuine clamshell nostalgia without spending hours hunting on eBay for pristine 101 model SPs, you'll feel right at home with this. It offers a premium, modern take on a beloved form factor without the fragility or price tag of vintage hardware. However, if you're a hardcore SNES speedrunner, a CRT-style purist who demands integer-scaled 4x3 for everything, or someone who simply can't stand black bars, you might want to hold off. Maybe wait for a firmware update that addresses the aspect ratio issue, or explore some of Anbernic's other landscape-oriented siblings that prioritize 4x3 displays. This device is phenomenal, but it's not one size fits all. At a street price of around 70 bucks, the RG34xxsp dramatically undercuts the analog pocket by a factor of 3. And unlike the analog pocket, it includes crucial modern features like HDMI out for a big screen gaming and built-in Bluetooth support for external controllers. It's an incredible value proposition for what you get. Of course, there's some competition. The Miyoo Mini Flip exists, and it's even smaller and lighter, but it has a hinge issue right now, as we can see from the image. The Anbernic RG34xxsp sits in a lonely, incredibly appealing sweet spot. It offers a genuinely premium feel, a mid-tier price point, and a crucial zero availability drama. You can actually buy one without refreshing website for restocks. It's a rare combination in the retro handheld market. More clamshell handhelds are undoubtedly launching this year, and you know I'll be getting my hands on a big one. If you want to know which one actually ship and which ones are worth your hard-earned cash, drop a quick clamshell in the comments below. That'll tell the algorithm to show you my future videos, and you won't miss a thing. So, is the RG34xxsp the perfect GBA SP clone? Technically, no, not quite. That locked aspect ratio for non-GBA content keeps punching me in the eyeballs, preventing it from achieving true universal perfection. Emotionally though, it's undeniably the machine I reach for indistinctively every single time I leave the house. The synergy of its vibrant screen, the impressive battery life, rock-solid hinge, and premium build quality comes together in a way that truly makes the original GBA SP hardware feel like a museum piece. It's an experience that transcends mere emulation. If Anbernic ever pushes a firmware toggle for full height 4x3, or let's be real, if the incredibly talented community beats them to it with a custom firmware patch, this handheld would instantly become the undisputed champion of pocketable retro gaming. Until that glorious day arrives, however, it remains simply the best, almost perfect clamshell you can buy right now. It's a love letter to the GBA SP, reimagined for the modern era, and a device that consistently brings a smile to my face, despite its one nagging flaw. That's it, guys. This is our review of the Anbernic RG34xxsp. I hope you loved the video. Again, this is Mixkai, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.